What's going on everyone, you're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to learn how to find an unknown angle using trigonometry in a right angle. Again, we're going to use SOHCAHTOA quite heavily, so our labeling angles and picking the right ratios are the number one skill to get this correct. This is legitimately the easiest skill you will learn in trigonometry. There is one button on the calculator that you need to learn, and that's it. The calculator will do all the mathematical processing for you. You just have to put in the correct information. The thinking that we have to do in today's lesson is legitimately the labeling and the SOHCAHTOA, picking the right ratio. If you're on top of those two things, you'll get 100% for this topic without a doubt. And if you're not 100% sure how to do these, please watch my last two videos because we really go in depth of how to do this. So for this one, I've got my angle of interest up the top and I've got 6 and 17. The first thing I need to do is label the sides. The 17 is the hypotenuse and the 6 is on the other side, so it's the opposite. Because I've got O and H, I know I've got to use sine. S-O-H. This means I've already done the two hardest things to get full marks for this question. Sine of my angle is equal to 6 over 17. But we don't want sine of the angle, we just want the angle by itself. And we just have to do what we normally do with equations. We've got to do the opposite operation on both sides. Luckily for us, there's this thing called the inverse of sine, which legitimately means opposite of sine, and it's on your calculator. So you don't have to learn how to do anything. To get the opposite of sine, all you've got to do on your calculator is hit shift sign, and this little sign with a -1 will pop up. It will have a bracket afterwards, and that's all you've got to use on your calculator to get full marks. Just like any equation though, because we're doing the opposite operation on one side to cancel it out, we have to do it on the other side as well. And this is what we're going to have to type into our calculator. Again, you don't need to know what these things mean. We might get into it in like year 11 or 12, but if we know that the opposite of sine gets rid of a sine, that's all we need to know. Back to our example, we've got sine of the angle is equal to 6 over 17. And to get the angle by itself, I have to do sine -1 to both sides. This means I've got the angle by itself, sine -1, bracket 6 over 17. You can do that in your calculator. You might have to close the bracket, but that's the only work you have to do. When you type this into your calculator, it's going to give you the answer 20.67 degrees, and that's the final answer. So we didn't really do any maths here. We just labeled the sides, found the ratio, and then used a button that does all the work for us. So again, here we've got 16 and 12 with our angle of interest, and we're going to label the sides first. The 16 is on the opposite side and the 12 is the adjacent. So we don't have a hypotenuse. This means we're definitely using tan. So again, label, ratio, that's the hardest part of the job. Now we've just got to write out the equation. Tan of our angle is equal to 16 over 12. To get rid of tan, we've got to do tan -1 on both sides, so that our angle is equal to tan -1, 16 over 12. Throw it into your calculator and you will finish the question. This one's equal to 53 degrees and you'll get 2 or 3 marks for this question just from correct labeling, using the right ratio, and then showing us what you put into your calculator. If you do just throw the degrees down at the end, that's not enough work. You do have to show us that you found the ratio and then use this tan -1 function. That's really important because it's a silly way to lose a mark on a topic that's incredibly easy. So the only takeaway from today's lesson is that this is the easiest thing you're going to learn in trigonometry. As long as you can label the sides and use the right ratio, it's just one button on the calculator in order to get full marks. Thanks so much for watching this lesson, guys, and I'll see you later.